Did you just get a notification?
Oh. Yeah, Nathan.
What did he say?
And Zoe.
Hey, what's going on, 9252 Life? How you doing? Still waiting for a video. I'm dying to hear you guys' story, man. When are we gonna hear your story? I subscribed to your channel, but there's no videos yet. That was quick. Oh, we were being lazy today. We weren't gonna go live, and said, you know what? We had too much fun the last couple of weeks. Thought I'd just stop and say hi to everybody. Have a little bit of chat with some people about fun stuff. There's some pretty fun videos out there. The story of why people are going off grid and homesteading just fascinates the heck. Oh gosh. Hey Patty, thanks. You were hoping someone would be live tonight. What? You know, I didn't even check. We were watching movies and just relaxing all day today, so we didn't even look and see if anybody was live today. I figured there's at least 2 or 3 places that go live. Hey Dave, what's going on, man? Jen, holy moly. Well, hey, what's going on? How you doing, Chris? Oh, I don't know about that. Huh. You definitely the man. Ron, what's going on? Holy smokes. Fantastic. Man, I got all the fun people in here tonight. You guys are awesome. Uh, so I, before all you guys popped on, I was giving 9252 Life a hard time, wanting to know when the heck they were going to be putting up some videos. We all want to know their story really, really bad. I was watching today. I haven't actually honestly finished watching it today, but I know, Ron, you are off grid. 9252 Life, I know you guys are working on going off grid. Brandon, thanks for popping in. Um, Patty says hi, Olivia.
Hi.
Hey, Gil, what's going on? Holy smokes, we got a full house already tonight. Good grief. Yeah, everybody's just chomping at the bit. My goodness. Um, Watching Red Poppy Ranch today, he was talking about, he put a video out today and said that the truth, good grief, that guy, I guess when you get to that many subscribers and you tell such a good story, like, I really hope that my channel gets to that point. Hey, Kathy, what's going on? When I get to that point, hopefully I'll get to that point where I get to the size of somebody like Heath and Cedar at Red Poppy Ranch. But um, good grief, you know, he puts out a 20-minute video and people watch the whole thing. But he tells such a great story, and I really aspire to tell people a good story like that, and to have an exciting channel like that. I just think I think Heath does a great job. Honestly, and not to be, you know, not to be a blubber, you know, not to blubber about it too much, but he's moved me to tears a few times. I mean, I've choked up a few times. He's actually moved me in my heart with this storytelling, and I love the way that Heath tells a story. It just, he narrates what he's doing up there. But being off grid, he made some really good points, you guys. And 9252 Life, this is one reason why this is one reason why, if you guys don't know who Ron is from Off Grid McGarvey Style, he is doing Off Grid up there and doing a fantastic, he's hugely successful. I love your story, Ron, and that's why I watch you. I love the story. And after watching that video today, I had to ask myself, why are we going off grid? Why do we want to homestead? Well, those stories overlap, right? My wife, you know, Olivia, wants to go with me because, you know, we're married 26 years, going on 27, right? Going on 27 years. This year will be 27 years, and she's going to go with me. She's willing to take the plunge. And hey, Heaven's Essential, thanks for popping in. Good grief. RNG, thanks for coming in. Everybody else that's popped in, if I miss anybody, forgive me. I think I've hit everybody so far. We've got a few people watching that aren't commenting. That's fine. We have some lurkers in the audience tonight, it looks like. But that was a question I had, and Heath was talking about the reality of off-grid lifestyle. And him and Cedar have both got that question. Well, do you guys have electricity? Are you guys warm? Do you guys have water? Do you collect water? I mean, the gamut. And he made a statement that I thought was pretty funny. He kind of called out Discovery Channel on his video today, and he said, uh, the one with the lady whose sister's off camera, right? Bless you, honey. Um, he made the statement that Alaskan bush people has given the general public a skewed taste or a skewed idea of what living off the grid is. And what did he say? I said it to you. Do you remember what I told you? That he said that Alaska bush people have made it look like it was just a circus gone wild or something up there. It really portrayed off-grid people as a bunch of whacked out, crazy hillbillies that don't know what they're doing, and they were lost. Is the impression he gave. It was fantastic. Hey, Chris, you like off-gridding with electric wire connected? That's funny. RNG, you are off-grid living? Yeah, it's a fun life. His way home said, "Hey, thanks for popping in. We're just having a quick little chat tonight for the week to get started." Uh, he said some of the he named, and I know most of you guys know who Dick Prenicky is, right? That guy that lived up in Alaska for 30 or 40 years on his own after, he was like 50 years old, and he went out and he built that cabin and he lived out there by himself for 30, 40 years. Finally, he came back to town in what was his 90s or something when he finally couldn't do it anymore and finally had to come in. Hey, thanks for coming in, Joey. Thank you. Oh, you know what, Joey? That's funny you said that. That's funny you said that because I was thinking that exact thing. Was after the last few weeks of so much fun we've had, I was feeling that. Oh man, they're gonna think I stood him. That's exactly what I was thinking. Those exact words. He's gonna think I stood him up. So no, here I am. I said no. I told Olivia, no, I got to go live. We had too much fun, so here we are. Um, yeah, excellent, excellent. Dick Prenicky is your hero, Ron. You know what? I agree with that. Thank you, Kathy. The mod queen is in the house again. I love you, Kathy. You're so fantastic. Heavens Essential says hi, honey.
Hi.
She's sitting right back here. She's trying to figure out some stuff for Anna at Mimsy's garden. She's trying to do some stuff. So, um, Sean James. I don't know about that, Kathy. I love watching Sean. Um, but he has a lot of people over to his cabin that he doesn't show. His good buddy Joe Robinet. I follow Joe Robinet on his extreme camping trips, backpacking and survival trips. I love both of those channels, and they're actually really good friends. And Sean James's wife is up there quite a bit, not as much as she'd like, I think, or as much as he would like. But I don't know that he's trying to do that lifestyle. I think he was just challenged by building something with his hands. So I don't know. Kathy, have you watched a lot of his stuff? And has he said that I know that he was an inspiration for him, but I don't know that he's trying to do it because he's married and he's a successful businessman. Dick Prenicky, I don't think was a successful businessman. Um, yeah, you know what? 9252 Life, you and your family, and I only can see on your banner on your channel your beautiful family with your kids and your wife. You absolutely got to put something out. People are dying to hear that story. So that was kind of what the only idea I had for tonight's talk was just kind of tell you guys what our story was with this whole thing. Watching Red Poppy Ranch, watching Ron living off grid McGarvey style. You guys, he's been doing this for a while. I honestly started watching Sean James. That was one of the first channels I started watching along with Pure Living. I actually wrote myself some notes tonight. Dick Prenicky was one of the first stories I ever read about or read and watched about. Pure Living for Life, Red Poppy Ranch, Busted Wagon Ranch, And when I started diving into those channels is when I saw Ron living the off grid, and a bunch of other off grid stories on YouTube, and started following these stories. And the story fascinates me. Um, yeah, exactly. Sean is a million. I thought so. He's a successful business guy. That's what I know. You're right, Ron. So there's a lot more to the story, a backstory that people I don't think are totally aware of that he doesn't really share. I think. But I want to look into that a little bit more. But I'm pretty sure if you Google it, I'm sure more will come up because he's let a little bit out of the bag every time. But he couldn't live up there 350 days out of year, without having to have. I mean, he's obviously got some money. He's got some very nice gear. So, anyway, did I miss anybody coming into the chat so far? Not so. Not. It looks like I got everybody here. So, yeah, hit that like button, guys. So I was gonna put a video out this weekend, guys. I was working on it. I actually put a carpet kit in my Toyota pickup truck for my son, and he does do a great job, Ron. He does a fantastic job, but so do you. You do a great job too, Ron, and that's why your channel has exploded too. So thank you so much for showing us little guys some love. I really appreciate it. I was videoing the carpet kit, showing people how to change the carpet in their vehicle for really cheap. And so guys, really quick on a little tangent here. Can you guys all tell me what editing program you use? I've been using Adobe Premiere Essentials 2019. I love how user-friendly the program is. I know a lot of you guys use Filmora, but this 2019 has been glitching, and I'm over it. I'm ready. I paid for the $100 one-time fee for the program. I know you can do the $30 a month thing, and that's expensive. I don't have $30 a month to spend on an editing program, and I'm not doing enough editing to justify that. Once I get to the size of Ron at off-grid McGarvey style, or just kidding. I know you do most of yours on your phone. Hey Tim, thanks for popping in. Which stream you talking about, Tim? The plant stream. Oh. So Tim Fergal, if you want to know about plants, you brought up a good point, guys. We have another fun. You did your laptop, okay, cool. You guys want to go check out? Oh yeah, Holly Ridge, you use iMovie. Oh yeah, all you Apple geeks, all you Apple nerds, and I'm just gonna be unabashedly bashing Apple products. I think all of you guys that use iPhones are weirdos, and I don't know. I'm just kidding. I could say some nasty things, but I won't. I'm just kidding. They take really good video. I'm just jealous because I can't afford an iPhone. You do your videos on your phone, right? Okay. So a channel. Oh, you're doing yours on your phone, Ron? Okay. Well, you do a pretty good job. So you had Adobe Pro for a year. Okay. So the Adobe Pro so I have the Adobe Premiere 2019, Elements 19, and it was the 1 year purchase for $100. The Pro is what was $30 a month, I think, right? So if you pay for the Pro, it's a continuing fee, and it's a good program. But my one time, yeah, I can't afford the iPhone stuff either, too, all the Apple stuff. The one-time fee I thought was a pretty good deal, but the program keeps glitching on me, so I'm having problems with it. So I got to get a hold of Adobe and have them either give me a new load. Let me try that again. There we go. How's that? Is that a little better? I don't know how many times I've been bagging on you guys in your live streams. Hey, give me some better lighting. I can't even see your face, and here I am practicing when I'm preaching. There we go. That's a little bit better. So you use Pinnacle Studio 22. Okay. Yeah, Ron has an iPhone. Okay, all you Apple guys are showing me up. You guys do better movies. Maybe I should start. No, I'm not gonna do it. I just spent a lot of money on this computer last year and a bunch of Android stuff, so I'm not gonna do it. Hey, California, thanks for popping in. Yeah, I'm gonna contact Adobe and tell them they got to do something because I'm over it. Anyway, guys, a channel that's in here tonight that is fantastic. That you guys, he just put his first video out, and Tim Fergal, you talked about the plant video. We were busy. We went out to dinner with friends, and I couldn't be part of that live, Gil, last night. But you guys need to go check out, if you haven't already done so, um, you need to go look at Joey. And Joey put out his first video. And if you guys could go show him some love, um, and subscribe. He just put out, he is doing some pretty fun botany stuff, guys. So need to go check out Joey on his channel. Um, Gosh darn it. Where'd he go? I don't want to say the name wrong. Hey, Jacob Harper. Jacob Harper? Lurking is your style. I went back to review Jake Harper's interview. There's one of the smartest guys I know, Jacob Harper, an engineer that's bored doing engineering stuff. So we were having dinner with his parents last night. That's where we were. So that's funny. Burning Hearth Homestead. I wanted to make sure I said it right. If you guys aren't subscribed to Burning Hearth Homestead, I would love for any of you guys to go subscribe to Joey over at Burning Hearth Homestead, and tell me what you think. But he is into botany big time, and his first video was a real pot stirrer. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You guys go check out his first video. I think we've got some pretty fun stuff coming from Joey, guys. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. You guys go check out Joey. So 9252 Life, Ron, you guys are off grid. Joey, Burning Hearth Homestead's off grid. We are moving to our off grid place, and I wasn't honestly looking for an off grid home. We just happened to find it. Hey, Copper Kettle Farms, thanks for coming in. Ellen's Crazy Critters. Holy smokes!
Jacob Harper on here.
And the very beginning. Yep, he's in there.
The very beginning.
Yep, very beginning. Go all the way back. He's in there. Lurking is his style. And he spells it with a K.
Yeah.
So, you found it? Okay.
No, but I know he spells it.
Hey, Jeremy, what's up, dude? I know you had guests over. You'd have to come in tonight. Thanks for that. I know it'd just be a couple minutes. So, there's my other brother. I've got a lot of brothers from another mother. There's my bro up in North Idaho. Thank you for popping in, dude. So, and there's another off-gridder right there. So, Jeremy, we're just catch you up real quick. We're just talking about off-gridders, why. There was a channel that put out Red Poppy Ranch was talking about the realities of living the off-grid life. Well, you guys all know what inspired you guys to go off-grid besides the freedom from the tax man. What inspired us to go off-grid? And I'll tell you what, especially having already been involved and talking with people up in Idaho with the tax man and the planning commission and watching what Chad and Shelby have been going through, having lived down here in California for way too long and having to deal with the permits and the expense of it all, we're just chomping at the bit. Thank you, Kathy, for putting that up there. Jeremy saying hi to Joey. All right, I like that. That's cool. Thanks, Jeremy. If you got to go, I totally understand. You got guests over there. Don't even feel like you got to stay. I just appreciate the love, man. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, go check him out, guys, and follow along. Joey's got some. His first video was already. I think it was pretty well done already. He's a natural on camera. I don't know why that is. Anyway, so let's talk about why is everybody the heck going off grid? Why, those of us that are off grid, why are you staying off grid? Those of you that want to go off grid, why do you want to go? Michelle P, thanks for stopping in. Behave yourself tonight. I'm just kidding. We are. You're gonna as off grid as you can after the electrical fire. Cause that was a PETA. Okay, interesting. You're going to have to make a video about that and put it up there. So, I got you. Okay. We watch it. The main thing, one of the first channels I started watching was Pure Living for Life. I really don't watch them much anymore. They've really gone commercial, but they're a huge channel. but the whole premise of what they started out doing everything themselves, building their own house and going off grid. And it was about saving money and for dependability and depending on your own stuff. Joy. We got about a 20-second delay, guys. So I see your comments, and I know it's about 20 seconds. I see your comment about 20 seconds after whatever it is I said. So I try not to put my foot in my mouth and then watch the comments roll in 20 seconds later. It's pretty funny. Uh, but the whole thing about being debt free is what really pushed me to start looking for something else. That running the rat, running around like a rat down here, the rat race down here is just my mind's going faster than I can even say it. Just chasing my tail down here. We've done well. We're blessed. I've nothing to complain about. But gosh, we could do so much better. What was that? What was that video? Oh, somebody sent us a link on Messenger today, and it's a movie coming out, put out by Prager University, and the guy's talking about having moved from California to Texas, and they said that within the first month of them moving to Texas, their standard of living jumped by 40 to 50%. Can you believe that? Um, the Friday night special topic is what is off grid? Is that what's coming up this coming Friday? Okay. Um, oh, Kathy, I didn't want you to promote them, but that's okay. They're still a good channel. I mean, they got some good stuff, but they're just, that's all right. Um, I don't really watch them very much anymore because I'd rather watch all of you guys' channels and support you guys than spend any time watching them. And I'm just mentioning them because they were kind of an inspiration for me in really thinking about and pursuing and design and sparking that desire in me for being off grid, being debt free, being self determining, providing my own food. We've done it ourselves down here, and not having to work 60 hours a week just to keep the lights on down here. I think a few of you have already heard me say this. The lady that we bought our house from, she moved into a nearby town and is on grid. A lot of people. Okay, so let's define what's off grid, right? Really quick. So up in Canada, they have an actual definition for off grid, and typically means that you are disconnected from the electrical grid. That is the most basic definition of off grid. Now that can be extended out to no water, no sewer, nothing else, no trash. I mean, which is us. We have nothing. We take care of all of our own. So our county taxes do allow us to pay for some dump fees, and we can take our trash to there, but we're going to probably end up burning most of it ourselves anyway. That is about as off grid as you can get, except that we'll still go to the store and go to the bank. So when we talk about being off grid, if the power goes out, what do you do? They were interviewing all those people that are off of that island in off of Vancouver, up there in Canada. I forget the name of that island, but the whole island is off grid, and it was a pretty fascinating to hear what people's perspectives were and what they desire to do. So, yes, they do. So, Central California, yeah, I know Heaven Central. I think you were talking about wanting to get out too. So trying to get out of, hey Karen, thanks for coming in. Zero grid. Yeah, I mean everybody. So the lady that built our log house, and it's a great log house. She moved back into town this winter, and it's been a pretty mild winter, at least over on here on the west and Pacific Northwest, compared to what they had last year and in years past. They lost power 3 times, and we've become really good friends with her, and she's messaging me saying, I have to get out of town, because she lived off grid, where obviously the house we bought, for 20 years by herself, and was off grid and self-determining, and her own solar panel stood up, her own well. I mean, everything. It was really well done. And she went into town, and she's been there for barely 6 months. Or no, I guess it's been a year. Yeah, it's been about a year. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. I have to get off grid. She's actually thinking she's going to try and sell her house in town and try and find something off grid again. What does that tell you guys about an off grid lifestyle? Well, first of all, she's done it for so long, she's used to it, and that's what she knows, and she just loves to be out there in the wild anyway. So she's kind of that independent. She's that Dick Prenneke in female form that we all have learned about, right? But what does that tell you when somebody that's been off grid for so long goes back on grid. And at some point, someday, I'm actually going to interview her and I'm going to put that video on. And you guys, I think, will be fascinated to hear that story. It is a fantastic story. So, hey, Corrigal's popped in. Thanks for coming in, guys. Oh my gosh. Man, we've got some big dogs in the house tonight. Yeah. Uh, I know, Gil, right? I should run it back to her. Hey, Joey's popping in. Thanks for popping in, man. Man, I've got all the fun people in here. This is so cool. This is where I started getting to know people. When I got to know Jeremy from Living the Dream, I met him over there on Joey's channel. Joey's got his outdoor Tuesday trail cam, and he's got a dozer. Gil, you know who Joey is, right? He's got a big dozer loader, tracked loader. I'm very, very jealous, and I want to come over and visit it. So your son, Ron, have you ever told your story? I don't know. I've watched almost all of your videos. I don't remember you saying. I don't know enough of your story. I know I've emailed you. We've talked a little bit, and I don't like. I try not to. I'm nosy. I try not to pry too much, but I don't know that I've seen that video that you've talked about. You said your son sparked it all. So that is a fantastic. That'd be a great story, a great video to put out there. How did we? All of you that are. Maybe we should just do a challenge tonight, and I should call every one of you guys that are off grid out. That we all need to do a collaboration and just do. Why did I go off grid? What was I thinking? Today, Heath kind of sparked it by talking about that, saying, "Hey, I would love to, and someday we will. Someday we're going to do a cross-country trip. We're going to have to stop at your place on our way over to Louisiana to see all those guys over there. Hey, McCoy's Oak Hill, thanks for coming in. We were having some fun. McCoy's Oak Hill, Leanna, I think that's your name, right? Is it Leanna? Let me double check here really quick, guys. She was giving me some great stuff on Alice Chalmers tractors. She was emailing me today, and I really appreciate it. Oh, Dave the Norseman's live tonight. Let's see here. It was Leanne, I think. I just want to make sure I say it right. Liana, right? I think it's Liana. I'll just say Liana. If it's wrong, correct me. In the Woods with Wolfie, thanks for popping in. Got some new people in here tonight. I love this. Hey, that's a great story, Tim. Tim, you've always got so much great stuff to say, and I know you're up there in Idaho. I really wish it. Yeah, we could, Joey. That'd be awesome. I wish you would put out videos, Tim. You've always got great input and great things to say. You've got to have a pretty cool story. Someday I'm gonna meet you. So maybe this summertime. So I'll throw that out there, guys. Last year we had a meetup up in northern Idaho. We're gonna do it again this next summer. It's gonna be the last weekend of June and into July. So those of you that are Idahoans people, it'll be the last Saturday of June, which will be the 27th, 28th, 27th, 28th. It is tentatively set. It's the 27th. Tentatively set for the 27th. So stay tuned for that. We'll make it official, but that's kind of where we're headed the weekend before 4th of July. So, we are talking about having non-YouTube creators actually come and do kind of a meet and greet. So we'll let you guys know. Stay tuned, guys. That's all I'm going to say. But I think it would be really cool if we all... Leanna. Okay, with the 2 E's. All right, cool. Thanks. That's funny that you do that. Everybody, it's pretty easy to do phonetic spelling on everybody's names or whatnot because I know with the Broussards, they haven't popped in tonight. They must be busy tonight. Hey, Heather, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. The Broussards, I was always calling them Browsers. And so they spelled it brew, B-R-E-W, and then S-A-R-D-S. So every time I talk to them, it's always Broussards. We're gonna send them something. That's gonna be like a coffee mug thing or something with Broussards. So anyway, we should do a collab, guys. We should all put out a video at some point. Maybe I'll start emailing you guys, and we can just kind of all hit it all at the same time. Why the heck are we going off grid? So to kind of fill you guys in on what we did, our place up there was just a godsend. I had a very, very specific set of parameters that I was looking for. Those of you that don't know or haven't heard this story before, Kiss My Grass, thanks for coming in. Uh, and Cherry Farm is Heaven's Gate Cherry. All right, on. You guys are awesome. Uh, there you are, Heaven's Gates. Okay, cool. Thanks for popping in, guys. This Bruce Sards. The story is I had helped my dad. I peeled a lot of logs when I was in high school. Excuse me, I was in high school, and my dad built a log house. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-story log house in the hills in Oregon on 11 acres of forested land with a stream on one side of it that was growing every year, and the trout were working their way up. We had little baby trout in that thing. So he set the bar really, really high. We were 45 minutes out of town to the nearest grocery store. We loved it out there. The times that we spent out there running around at the pond, catching bass, fishing, running around making hay forts in a barn nearby, and riding our 3-wheelers around and stuff. It just the memories were I'll never forget. But he built a Scandinavian style where they do the notch on the bottom of the log, and then the weight of the logs press those down and seal everything up. And it was a really, really well done log home. So that's what I grew up with. And I didn't really know of any of the other styles like they do back east with the D shape and with the big chinky and all that stuff. I didn't really know there was much else. So I always had that in my mind. And when I started looking at, I would really love to have a log house. They insulate really, really well. Easy to keep warm, easy to keep cool. And so when we decided we were going to get out of California, well, when I decided it was time, and if she was, hopefully she could come with me. She would come with me. Are you listening, honey? I'm not getting any response back there, so she's not listening. That was what I had in my mind was a log house. I didn't really care too much except that I wanted a water source on the property, and it had to be a log house. And I found this place just by chance, and that's a longer story of how I found it and how we ended up with the place. But it ended up being exactly what we were looking for with a trout stream. But it happened to be off grid, and I was not looking for off grid at the time. But this place was off grid. Now, we had solar panels put on our house down here in California through Solar City, and it's a net metering situation where whatever we don't use gets sold back to the company. Whatever we use that we don't produce, we pay for. And at the end of the year, hopefully you're producing more and it's a wash. You don't owe them anything, right? So that was how we got into the solar, and I've always been a proponent and loving, renewable energy like that. I've worked in the wind turbines for years out in the desert, solar panels, micro hydroelectric, all that stuff. It's all fun. So when we found this place, it was okay. Well, let me see the system, and when I looked at the system, I said, oh, it's a good, decent system. So I had checked. I had done some research on different systems, and decided that the system that was there was sufficient for supporting us. So she had been living there for 20 years with the same system. She's got a well that's only 36 feet deep. Some of you that have wells that are deeper that are a couple hundred feet deeper are going to hate me for saying that, but it's 36 feet deep, and we get water, clean, clear water, 18 feet. We're only about 50 feet above the stream bed, actually, so that's why the water table is so high where we're at. And the watershed that feeds our stream and our valley doesn't have any potential pollutants in any way, shape, or form because it's in the mountains behind us. We're backed up against U.S. Forest Service land. It's end of the road. It's fantastic. We are so blessed to have this place. So when we saw it and we qualified and we bought the place, we kind of fell into the off-grid thing, kind of by accident. But all along, as we were making this transition, looking for a place to go, I was watching more and more of all your guys' channels. I was watching Ron, watching more Pure Living for Life, diving more into the Dick Prenicky story. I mean, all this stuff. Watching Sean James up there. I loved what he was doing. I loved how he did everything by hand up there. Fantastic channel. So watching all that stuff all it did was solidify in me and create a rock solid resolve that I wanted this and I wanted it desperately. And now I'm at that point where the angst is, as I know a lot of you guys have heard me email you, or you've heard me say it a million times. The angst is just, oh, it's just it's crazy. So it is. It's a dream property. It's a. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Yeah, you guys can go see the cabin. So it's livable. It has everything livable. We just need to do some finish work on it. I say that in the video probably a million times. So it was fantastic. Oh, is Anna in here? Hey, Anna popped in. Thank you, Anna. Olivia's working hard for you. Hey, Butch. Thanks for coming in. You know what? 9252 Life. Hey, by the way, you said where you guys were looking. Did you say in a live stream before where you guys were looking for property? 9252 Life. What state are you guys looking? Just give me a state. We'd love to have a family like you up in Idaho. Um, you know what, Ron? That's okay. You can drive. We have a cabin up there that's separate from our log cabin. We're gonna fix up for Airbnb and for guests. So you guys stay tuned for all that stuff. Leanna was so fantastic. But meeting all those people up there with our meetup last year, and meeting all you people and having yeah, totally short timers disease. Karen, I'm Patty. Absolutely. Short timers disease. It is absolutely killing me. I feel like a little kid. You know how you are when you're a little kid. When your parents talking about going to. Hey, thank you, Joey. Thanks for popping in. When you talk about going to Disneyland, or you're going to be going camping, and that last 2 weeks just feels like it's just dragging on forever. Oh my gosh, this year is going to be like that. Danae graduates from college in less than 2 months now. We're going to be going to her graduation on the 24th of April. It's 7 weeks away, and it's just killing me. My son is learning how to be a pilot, and he's only a few more hours away from doing his first solo, and just the waiting, and everybody knows time's flying these days, but man, just the waiting is just killing me. But before I know it, it'll be there. But so that's where we're at. We're off grid, and I'm gonna have to add some more solar panels to it. I'm probably going to be changing the batteries over from lead acid batteries to Red Poppy Ranch kind of led the way on that, and I had already seen them a couple of years ago with Lion batteries. They're dry cell, they're lithium ion batteries, and they're expensive, but they're gonna last 20 years. I mean, they guarantee them for 10, which is insane. So we're gonna. Hey, How to Garden, thanks for popping in. I wish, Karen, I wish we could go to the shindig. We're going to. Um, yeah, Anna, she's working hard on that. She's trying to source some better pricing on the vinyl to get you the best price that she possibly can. It's tricky. That whole. So give you a quick little clue. My wife's a big cricket or cricket, however you want to say it. Cricket. She's a cricket fiend. And it's just going crazy. But that whole industry is just exploding, absolutely off the hook. Those of you crafters out there that know what cricut machines are, it's basically your home vinyl cutter. Well, it cuts everything. It'll cut leather, material, whatever. She is just going crazy with that. But the whole industry is changing. They keep coming out with new machines, and there's new companies coming out with new vinyls, and just it's just all over the map right now. So she's working hard to get a good quality material and get a good price so she can keep the price down. But some of it is so expensive still. So anyway, that's what she's doing. Hey, Angela, thanks for coming in. Is Jeremy busy with the boys? Is that why you're popping in? Because we love having you in here. That's fantastic. But you got to go. We understand. You guys have guests up there, so don't feel like you got to stay. I just appreciate you guys stopping in. So, wow, you know what, Angela? This is something I think I've said to you before. You were the city girl, and Jeremy drug you out there to go off grid. I desperately want to hear that story. Olivia needs to hear that story. I know we talked about this a few months back, begging you to tell your side of the story there. But that's what we're all talking about. Those of us that are off grid here, we need to start telling our stories as to why. Why the heck are we going off grid? So that's what we're kind of talking about tonight. Okay, I made some of these comments, and so we have a couple here, 9252 Life guys. So everybody, if you guys go subscribe to 9252 Life and leave them a comment, where can we leave them a comment? Do they have anything? Do you have anything on your channel yet? You have anything that we can leave a comment on? I'm gonna roll the heck out of you guys. I'm gonna overwhelm you guys. Um, yeah, I know, Anna. It is. It's pricey. So. Yeah, 9252 Life is a new family, you guys, that okay, cool. You know what, 9252? I know I saw your names on your channel when you did your about thing, and I forgot what your names were. I apologize for that. Um, just so you, 9252 Life, when I first started doing live streams a year ago, um, oh, here we go. There we go. There's my list. I so I had to have a list to keep everybody's name straight. So that's what I tend to do is I tend to ask people their names so that okay, yeah, I like that. So if you call it a video challenge. Hey, Heather, I know I don't have any content yet. It's killing me because 9252 Life, they've got a if you look at their banner on their channel, he's got a gorgeous family and they from what I understand, you guys sold. Okay, Chad and Naomi Maynard. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, you were in Chad Maynard. So you were in my live stream this last week. Where were you? Um. Oh, hey, Joey. Thank you for that. Okay, that would be fantastic. Yeah, maybe, definitely. I'll let her know, Joey. Thank you for that. Don't let me forget Burning Hearth Homestead. They want it. His wife would love to talk to you. So Chad and Naomi Maynard. But Chad, you were in somebody's live stream under your name, Chad Maynard. That's right. Okay, that's who you are. I'm gonna write that down here. You know, when you write things down, you remember them better. Chad and Naomi Maynard. Okay, so Chad, as from what I understand, Chad and Naomi have sold everything they have and have moved into a trailer and are looking for property. Um, I hate to say it, but Idaho prices have definitely gone up. But there are still some interesting pieces of property up there that are reasonable. But I understand the whole debt-free thing. So trying to do it. Videos to come. I like that, Kathy. Man, you are so good at that. You guys are so nameless Jen. Okay. Oh, is Marley dreaming over there? Ron, Ron, like I was saying last week, if it wasn't for us paying off one more loan, one small loan, and my two kids finishing school and them getting jobs this year, we could move now. We could sell this place and move right now, but we're waiting. We're putting it up, and it's giving us time to save up a little bit more money. And I got to buy a tractor, right? So I know I don't have to. I could do it like you're doing, and you do everything. I mean, you do an amazing amount of work up there by yourself, Ron. It's amazing what you've done. Um, Guys, if you guys haven't checked out Ron, if you guys haven't checked out Ron living off grid McGarvey style, you want to see one of the most highly organized and clean and orderly gardens with raised beds and hoop covers and greenhouse. I mean, holy smokes, that place! I don't think there's anything out of place. I don't see a weed in a single walkway. I mean, it is the cleanest, nicest looking off-grid place I've ever seen. And I've seen uh, the Red Fox style off-grid properties. um, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys all know who Red. You guys are all old. Most of you guys are all old like me, so you guys know who Red Fox is, right? Anybody here don't know who Red Fox is? All right, so hey, and here's a good question. My buddy Alan just prodded me to ask. Does anybody? Well, I don't know if any of you guys are up in northern Idaho, so I don't know if anybody up there that would be able to give me the answer to that. But anybody know a good place to Jeremy Squirrel? No, I don't think so. Anybody know where to get? Jeremy, you might know. Where can I find good pre-finished maple flooring? It's what we want to put in our log cabin up there. There you go. So, hey, healthy homestead chick, thanks for coming in. Yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, Anna, you tell him. Woo, Jeremy, you just got the smackdown. Holy smokes. And you better not talk back to Anna either. Uh, that's fantastic. Um, holy, now there's a squirrel right there. Alan, I know you know who that is. That's funny. Okay. So anyway, living off grid McGarvey style is definitely not a Sanford and Sons style uh, off grid property homestead. It is the exact opposite of that. So anyway, um, Sanford and Sons. Yep. Oh, let's see. Joining Bucamp. Thank you for popping in. That's fantastic. We've got a bunch of new people in here tonight. Thank you. Very, very cool of you guys to stop in. So all of you guys, all of you new people that have popped in, Joydeen, all this. Now I know there's a lot of. Oh, okay. So Jen, you know who Joydeen is. Okay. Um, Holy smokes. Okay, so you guys, so I'm not going to tell you to go subscribe to all these people because it sounds like you already know, everybody knows who you are already. So thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. So that means I got to go check you out. I got to write that down really quick. Joydeen Bucamp. Okay. Joydeen. I wonder, Chad Maynard, if you've got it. Do you have a channel underneath your name? Bucamp. So, yeah, anybody know where Chris? Yeah, you're my fellow singer, right, Chris? Yeah, that was a good show. I loved that show. Good days. Okay, that was a squirrel right there. What was I talking about? We were talking about doing a collaboration on why people are going off grid and what the heck, what are they thinking? I know that Heath and Cedar were talking about how they go into town and people she'll get the same questions like, oh, so you guys are off grid. Do you homeschool? Or they've actually got the question, are you guys like a religious cult or something? It's pretty funny. I've had a few people ask us too, oh, do you guys have power or how do you heat your home? So, of all people, last year my dad asked me if I was one of those preppers. And I said, no, 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 no. I mean, I do, we are a little bit to the point, but I'm not one of the doomsday preppers like we see on TV. See, those TV shows have given all of us people a bad name. We're all a bunch of wacko cultists that have moved off grid. And in the stories that we see, like that lady and that guy in Idaho with their two missing kids, that doesn't help either, especially, coming from Idaho. That's no fun. But my dad asked me that, and he said, "You guys are doomsday preppers?" No, no, no. I'm going off grid just because I happened to get a place that was off grid, but it doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it. So anyway, let's see. I think I missed somebody popping in. Hey, Tyler, thanks for popping in. You were probably already in here before. His Way Homestead, you are 9,576 away from 10,000 subs. You and me both, brother. That's fantastic. I think I'm a little closer, though. I think I'm about 9,000 away from 10,000 subs. So we'll all work together and try and build each other up, right? So, did anybody guess where my tractor place was? Oh, no, Alan. Nobody was able to guess where that tractor place was. I missed a joke or two here. Tinker's wife, would you say something? Someone let the squirrels out of the cage. Yeah, well, there's so many of you guys. Good grief. And I love every one of your channels and almost every single one of you guys I've had a conversation with and have become friends with. So it didn't take much. You guys all know me already by now. It's just not fair when you guys all gang up all at the same time. So did anybody, Alan, it would have to be somebody that actually, prepsteader is a great term. I agree with that. It would have to be somebody that knows the area between here and Idaho to know where that place is at. What's funny, you guys, my best friend here, Alan Banks, his grandparents owned a place up in Washington State, and so he used to drive back and forth all the time between here and Washington State. So Alan Banks is the only guy that told me where he thought my tractor place was, and I had not told him where it was. So he was guessing by looking at some of the background scenery in the video. He's like, that kind of looks like in this little area over in such and such place. I'm like, wow, you are dang close. And he was right on the money. So I got to give props to my buddy Alan Banks. He guessed within, I'm going to say within 20 miles of where that tractor place was. I'm going to say he guessed it because that whole area where it's at is all the same. So anybody else figure out where my tractor place was? Any of you guys that like antique tractors and antique dozers specifically, I have a fun video where I just about couldn't. I might. We stopped there twice, and when we drive up this next summertime, I'm probably going to stop again if we go by there, because I want to try and interview the guy that put those tractors together. The first time we stopped, I wasn't really doing YouTube at the time. That was 2 years ago. And the guy came out and we chatted for about 15 minutes. He was a really nice old guy. Well, he wasn't that old. He was probably 65 or so. What would you say that guy? Honey, do you remember? You remember you were standing there. 65 maybe? The tractor guy, the dozer guy.
Oh yeah, he was in his 60s.
60s, maybe early 70s. So definitely a farmer. And then one of the guys that commented on my video was pointing out such and such 3 or 4 different models. He pointed out on my video saying that one was used for this, that one was used for this, and almost all of them were used for farming exclusively. And I said, well, that makes sense. And that guy knew what he was talking about. That was a really fantastic. I told him, please email me. I'd love to chat some more with you. Anyway, anybody. Yeah, Patty, you're right. I was like a little boy in a muscle car shop. It was awesome. Ron, yeah, it does. It makes us old. Chris, what did you? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Why did you have to start talking about trespassing? Um, Life with a table full. Hey, thanks for popping in. You're gonna have a ton of content. Awesome. I can't wait to see it. Um, I'm planning on shooting squirrels. You know what, guys? Dave Reese from Imagine Wood did a squirrel eating video. He went out and hunted a squirrel, skinned it, gutted it, prepped it, and cooked it with a field prep as a field, like a bushcraft kind of thing, all in one video. It was fantastic with a black iron skillet. It was a great. He didn't show the gory parts, but he had a great video. So if anybody is interested to watch somebody actually shoot a squirrel and eat it in one video, go watch Dave at Imagine Acre Wood. So, Gil, you're not that old. You're only 62. No, let's see. No, not yet. I haven't. Life with a table full. I haven't got moved yet, but we are hoping. You know, I was answering Ron's question earlier, and you were asking when we were moving. So I was definitely by next spring. Absolutely by next spring. We're gonna be up there because I can't handle this anymore. So there you go, guys. We're gonna be up there by next spring. So we're gonna keep fixing up our place here. That's what a lot of our projects have been doing. I'm still putting out some of those disaster preparedness videos. I've got a bunch of those I still have to do. I've got survival food. I've got survival water. I've got survival radio equipment. There's another squirrel for me right there. Is survival radio equipment, Gil. I'll have to talk to you about that later. I'm a ham radio operator, and state of California just reversed themselves with their whole disaster preparedness stuff. They were kicking out all the ham radio operators as part of their disaster preparedness plan and their emergency prep stuff, and they reversed course, said, no, we're going to keep all the ham operators, which was, I think, a pretty smart move. But anyway, yeah, I do too. A little bit too, Ron. Until I get too tired, I get wore out. So anyway, to answer your question there, Life with a Table Full, we're going to be, next spring. As soon as I finish this project, we're gonna see where we're at. I'm on a really big project in Los Angeles on a pretty special crane. Some of you guys that were in my live stream, my first mobile live stream a couple of weeks ago, you guys got to taste a little bit. You got to see what I was doing. That was and I had to take that video down too, guys, just so you know. So I can't show what I'm doing. It's an agreement I have with the owner, and I will respect that. So. But I will post some other videos for you guys to watch at a later time. So anyway, so that's the story, guys. We're gonna be off grid at that place. I've got to, becoming a ham radio operator is really, really easy, guys. Uh, you're all out of ham. Well, I got plenty of ham to share with you, Tyler, as you know. So becoming a ham radio operator is really, really easy. It's pretty simple. So, Chris, you started talking about trespassing. Why did you say that? You must have said something, or somebody else said something. Uh, CDO, I like that. Let's see. Oh yeah, Alan. Alan's got a fun project. He's got a lady in Northern California, up near you, Ron. He's got a lady up there that has a house that's not connected to the grid, and she has a roaring river across her property. And she was talking about putting in hydroelectric. So we were talking about doing a hydroelectric system for her. But apparently she's going to sell it. But while he was up there doing some work for her, one of his customers, Alan, would you say that rattlesnake was like 7 foot long? That thing was a beast. That thing was a small child eater. It was a large rabbit, small deer eater. That thing was a huge monster snake. Um, Fairy tale, you can clean squirrels. You know what? Um, that's a great skill because that's the same skill that you use for any kind of game, whether it's small or large. You got to clean them either way. So let's see. Burning Heart, Joey. So you're asking what kind of animals we plan on keeping? I know you asked that last question or last week, and I forgot to we didn't get a chance to answer it. Um, it wasn't me. Hey, course. Hey, Steve. Thanks for popping in. There's my Southern California brother right there. That's a prepper. You guys don't know who Steve Corsair Trainers is? Go check out his channel. I know Tyler and him are like Tyler and Gil and him are the prep kings on YouTube right now. Um, there was a squirrel, right? So, what kind of animals? We're definitely having chickens. We're gonna have a bunch of chickens. We've had chickens here in our property here at our small postage stamp size property. We weren't legally supposed to have them. Here, you're supposed to have your chicken coop 50 feet from your house, and we had it about 35. But we stopped doing that because the kids got so busy with sports and all this other stuff. We ran out of time to do anything with them. So we and they were past their lane prime anyway. So it was time to kind of get rid of them and let them go. But once we get up there, we'll have chickens. Um, I never wanted to have a pig because I thought they were stinky and messy. But I've been watching Jeremy at Living the Dream Homestead. If you guys want, his pig is pregnant right now, guys. So any of you guys are watching Jeremy and Angela, their pig is pregnant. They're gonna have piglets any day. And then Chad and Shelby, of course, have had a million pigs. Watching what they're doing, I'm like, maybe it's not so bad. Have one pig or two pigs and raise them. They go to slaughter within 6 months anyway. So it may be not that big of a deal to have pigs. They're not as nasty as I thought. So chickens, pigs, I definitely want to have an alpaca or two someday. There is a huge alpaca market up in northern Idaho. There's huge alpaca farms. The market for alpaca wool is huge, and they are one of the funnest and easiest animals to keep, and they are cold weather animals. They do fine out in the snow without a barn. So definitely the chickens, maybe a pig. Thinking about goats because goats are fun, but we're gonna have to try some goat cheese and some goat's milk because I kind of don't want to put a lot of time and effort into it. Shelby from North Country Off Grid put out a great video a couple weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, talking about when you go off grid, don't jump into the animals right away. If you jump into the animals right away, you're going to be overwhelmed because things happen. Your goat's not going to be able to have that baby, or the pigs got out of the pen, and you're going to spend all day long, wrestling up those pigs, getting them and fixing the gates and the pens. It's going to take time. So if you just start getting animals like crazy, I know Jeremy and Angela are very well accustomed to that whole issue. I know how much time that Jeremy spends on those animals. So she had a really good little bit of advice. She said I would start slow. We've already had the chickens thing. We know we're well versed in chickens. Although Angela butchered her first chicken on their episode of Homestead Rescue. and that's something that I would like to learn how to do is harvest chickens. So we want to have a dual purpose meat bird as well as layers, and so we'll see where that goes. So that's about it, Joey. Let's see here. Yeah, it is easy to go to the store and buy your milk. That's probably we're never gonna have a milk cow. I'm not getting into that side of it, Alan. We definitely would. Hey, Holly Rich, thanks for coming in. Chris has to work, obviously. He's got to go catch bad guys. I never got an answer to his question. He was talking about catching bad guys. He was talking about trespassers or something. So stay away from ground squirrels. The tree squirrels are better eating. Yeah, that's what I hear, Ron. Uh, I hear goat cheese is awesome. Suburban homesteaders, Wyoming, thanks for popping in. Goats only do things they eat. They eat and crap. Grandma's so happy. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, see, we got to get some good goat milk. I know that Dave Reese over there at Imaginator Woods, they have goats and they milk their goats and they actually homogenize it or pasteurize it. They pasteurize it, where they actually they heat it up and they spin off the solids to help kind of cook off any of the bacteria, and then they homogenize. Homogenizing is when you mix it all up, right? So 20 seconds later, I'm going to see you guys' answers to what I'm asking. But anyway, we got to drink some good goat milk. Some stuff that's been, I don't want to drink it raw from the udder. I know it's going to be nasty. So, you know what, Kathy? That's a good point. You got to get past it. Manifestation of imagination. Thank you for popping in. Awesome. Harvesting chickens. Jen. Gosh, you guys are all into goat's milk. Look at you. Fairy Tale Creations, honey. She said goat's milk is good, all caps. Holy smokes. Let's see here. Everybody's talking about goat's milk. Good grief. That's what we're going to have to... Thank you, Kathy, for posting that. That's you are awesome. I'll just keep shouting out videos that you guys... and you guys throw them up there, and you guys go check them out. Let's see here. I don't want to miss anybody's comments here. So raising sheep. So you can eat lamb, right? But see, I don't want to raise an animal that I can't. It's just like if you guys saw my pruning fruit trees, all the trees I have in my yard here, if I'm going to devote time and energy into the tree, I want it to give me something back. So all of my trees, they look good, but they also produce fruit. I have an orange, avocado, pear, apple, plum, and I have a macadamia nut tree. And that's it. Anything besides that, I'm not interested, because then I got to trim it and make it look good, and that's it. So same thing with animals. I just feel like goat's milk's not dairy though, is it? I don't think goat's milk is dairy. That was did I miss it? See, it's going so fast. I'm trying to. Christy, who's Christy? Who popped in here? Who did I miss? I missed somebody here. Did Christy? Oh, there's my sister. Okay, thanks for popping in. Mutton. Yeah, mutton is supposed to be really good, right? Lamb is the baby, though. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So Kathy brought up a really good point. You have to get past the emotional part of it. I have no problem whacking the head off a chicken. I have zero emotional attachment to animals except for my dog, and I'll never eat my dog. She's fantastic. The only thing that's emotional is just, yeah, you better go take care of Terry. The only thing that I think I'll have a little bit of trouble with is just that first initial gutting. I grew up hunting, but I never got a deer myself. My brother did. I could gut a fish, no problem. I mean, it's kind of gross. And I know that the guts in a fish are about the same guts that you're going to find in an animal. So it's just a matter of getting past all the extra blood that's in an animal, right? So that's the only part I got to get past. So once I get used to it, then I think it'll be okay. But I don't think we're going to eat. I don't think we have any interest in really eating mutton, any sheep. I hear goat meat is really good, but I'm not super excited about eating goat meat yet until we have tried it. Um, my neighbor up there that I just got that lived up there for forever. They said when they lived up there that they did not buy beef for 20 years because they would get a deer and an elk every year. Now I like that. That to me sounds like a heavenly off-grid situation, a heavenly homesteading situation, where you're gardening and you're getting your meat, wild grass-fed meat, and raising your chickens for your eggs, and the only thing you buy at the store is maybe some milk, some sugar, some spices, if that. And if you're raising your own herbs and you have a dehydrator, right? So completely self-sufficient. Of course, you got to have time to do that. So I can't be working. Hence the debt-free part. If we pay off our mortgage and we only have work enough to support our daily expenses, then we can have time to do all that stuff. So there's the dream and the fantasy, guys, right there. That's in a nutshell. We'll see how. I told my wife the other day, last night we were out to dinner with some friends. I said, I can't wait to see her in a pair of cowboy boots and overalls. And she just about slapped me when I said that. But hope she doesn't throw anything at me right now. So, but I think I think a lady in overalls and boots is just cute as heck. She had a pair of overalls once. Oh, there it was. She threw an orange at me. Honey, I'm talking about how cute you were. Okay, you want it back now? All right. Anyway, so guys, if you guys are going to be along for the ride, it's coming. It's probably going to come a lot sooner than we're prepared for, but we'll take you guys all along on the ride for us in June when we go up there for 4th of July. And we're going to share all that stuff with you guys and definitely take you guys along for the ride. And in the meantime, let's start talking about doing a collaboration. All of you guys that are off grid, let's start talking about doing a collaboration of videos of why we went off grid and lay it out and tell the story. And Chad and Naomi Maynard, you guys need to be first. I'm just going to throw it out there. You guys need to be the first video, the first channel to put out your what's your story, because you guys are right there. Are you guys looking at property? Do you have property in sight? Are you in Arizona? I want to know. It's killing me. I know channels like Breaking Free Off Grid, Tony and Stuart. What I remember of their story, and that's another channel I started watching. One of the first ones as well was Tony and Stuart. Breaking Free Off Grid, and they were also on Homestead Rescue. They had everything in Arizona, and one of their first videos, they tell their story. They sold everything in Arizona, sold their house, all their possessions, and they bought a piece of property for cash up there in North Idaho, and they're there now, and they're making it work. And it's a struggle, but they're there, and it's happening. So, guys, if you guys would go check out Tony and Stuart at Breaking Free Off Grid and go show them some love. Tell them I sent you, too, because they're a neat couple, and they got some fun stuff that's happening there. They are working really hard. So they sold everything. Let's see. I missed a whole bunch of guys. I'm sorry. I missed. You guys have been so fantastic and chatting it up tonight. I've missed a bunch of your comments, and I apologize. I'm trying to stay caught up with it, but let me review a little bit. Joy Dean, you're talking about mutton's got a strong flavor. Texas barbecue goat's a regular food. Yep. That is some great info. You had a little trouble with the fat setting in the roof of your mouth. I got it. Okay, that's good to know. That's abuse, poor fruit. Tyler, you better watch yourself. I'm gonna put you in the dunce corner with Michelle P. You know what, Kathy? She does wear hats. She does like the large brim hats. So a straw hat with a plaid shirt and overalls. She went with me to do a job one time, and she had her hair in pigtails. She had 2 pigtails, 2 braids. Were they pigtails or were they braids? I think they were braids. She had overalls on, and she had some Doc Martens. Oh my gosh! You know what's really sad? That was how long ago was that, honey? 15 years ago? 15 plus years? So I was probably 35. And I walked in. We were doing window tinting at the time. I walked into this. I'm gonna tell you guys a funny story. I walked into this glass shop to do window tinting, and she walked in with her overalls on and her pigtails and her little Doc Martens, right? And I'm 6'1", she's only 5'1". The guy came out. He's like, oh, you brought your daughter to help. And I'm like, well, no. As a matter of fact, I brought my wife. But yeah, there you go, guys. They thought so that was kind of an insult to me, technically, me thinking that I was her dad. But hey, thinking that she was young enough to be my daughter, but she was my wife, that was pretty cool. So I know what she looks like already in pigtails and overalls and boots, and she is cute as a button. Um, anyway, so about I don't think she's ever gonna try mutton. She might try something. She's tried a few. Hey, Ryan the gamer, thanks for coming in. Man, this is so cool. You guys are showing some love tonight. Thank you, appreciate it. Um, oh my gosh. Okay. Reed had a good question. Manifestation. Okay, okay. Let me go back. Where's Karen? What did I say? No, I'm not big. I'm not big enough to miss. You guys are just a bunch of talkers. That's all it is. You guys are talking too much. Look at the pot calling the kettle black, right? Who's Christy? Okay, see, I get on a story and I try and keep my train of thought so the squirrels don't distract me, and you guys throw the squirrels out there. So, somebody's going to bed. Hey, oh, you had to. Oh, McCoy. Oh, Leanna did. Okay. Christy's my sister. She is my bestest sister ever. I am not a huge channel. I'm not. Ron McGarvey is a huge channel, guys, and he is in here chatting it up with everybody. I love that. Thank you again, Ron. Let's see here. I missed a chat. I missed somebody's. Okay, you got to ask a question again because I can't find it. Bleed it out. Chad. Oh, Chad remembers the turquoise, and they were shorts, by the way, dolphin shorts, by the way. Okay, so manifestation of imagination. What? Ask that question again. I missed it. I'm gonna wait. Who's Patreon only? Tyler. Okay, I'm just gonna answer you guys a question for a little bit. Dave, she has about a dozen oranges back there, so I had to stop talking about her. Otherwise, I was gonna get plastered with oranges back there. I have to go back and watch my live. What happened? Was she just okay, Karen? All right, you're kidding. Ah, thanks. Well, I'm only great because you guys are great. You guys are way greater than I am. Okay, so manifestation. What did you say? You asked a question. Okay, life of the table full. Okay, that's a good question. All right. Okay, there you go. Okay, so you asked it again. All right, so let's talk about that. That 31 of you guys still in the chat. Holy smokes. Okay. Your pigtails and coveralls video. Tyler, are you trying to tell the world something about that lady friend you had? What's the story on her? Is she still sticking around? I'm just gonna call you out, dude. You gonna throw that up in the chat? I'm just gonna call you out. I think Tyler's got herself a girlfriend. That's right. And it's about time. A smart guy like Ryan, I can't believe you're still single, dude. There's got to be a million girls out there that wanna have a fun life and have a smart guy like that in their life. So there you go. You and Prepper's daughter still dating? Yeah, see? Okay, there we go. All right, everybody's calling out Tyler. I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay. All right, so, okay, the question for the fourth time now. All right, his way. Thanks for coming in. So I'm going to address this question really quick, guys. That is a really, really good question. I'm taking off the glasses, so I'm not going to see your chat while I focus on my answer. That is a good question. Now, I've mentioned this before in telling everybody what we were doing. We were talking about keeping this house here and renting it out for a while as our escape plan. And we move up there, and if she doesn't like it, we could come back here. That was the original plan, the original talk, because that's all she's ever known is this down here. So she's a little. The only thing that we're really concerned about is she just can't get used to the cold. That it's a lot cooler in Idaho. Obviously, wintertime there's a lot more snow on the ground, so that But now, because of the situation down here in California, uh, it's gotten so bad with the traffic and the taxes and the cost of living. I mean, all of it. You guys have all heard the horrible stories. It is as bad as they say, if not worse. Of course, the politicians want to make it less worse. Anyway, she has been. You know what? I don't want to have to try and take care of a house out of state. I don't think I want. I don't think she's very very close to. I would put her at like. She says she's 50-50 selling or keeping. I think lately the way she's been talking, she's more like 70-30, 70% sell, 80% sell, 20% keep it. So that is the backup plan. However, if we do that, then we obviously have to rent this place out to cover the mortgage. I can't, with the money that I'm not going to make up there, we're going to take about a 20%, 30% reduction in income because the wages are just lower. That's just a fact of life up there. I know cost of living is lower, we'll do fine, but we will not be able to afford both mortgages on what I make up there. I can afford both mortgages right now, what I do down here, because the wages are really high down here. So that's kind of where we're at. That's some pretty transparent info for you guys. Laying it out there for you. If she doesn't like the cold, if we sell this place, and that's kind of the way we're leaning, because we'd be able to pay off both mortgages here, and we'd have enough money in this place. We can make enough money on what we sell here to pay off the mortgage up there and not have a mortgage. Hallelujah. Would be, I mean, just fantastic. I mean, we are so blessed to have that, and I'm not trying to brag about that in any way. We're just very fortunate to have gotten this house 20 years ago, and we have enough equity to do it. So, thank you, Lord, for that. If we do that, we sell it, and we don't have a way to come back to California, we should be able to sell that place and have enough of a down payment for something smaller and less expensive here if we wanted to come back, which I don't want to do. But we would actually be eyeballing. I've already been talking to her about eyeballing other states. So if it's about the cold, I don't want to come back to California. I would love to live up where near Ron McGarvey style. I mean, he gets snow almost every year, right, Ron? I think he's still in here. But it's not as cold as Idaho. Idaho's definitely a little bit colder. I did the research on Idaho before we bought property up there, and the average temperature where we're at up there in the wintertime is about 28 degrees. So I know they get down into the teens. They've had a few below zeros, but for the most part, like right now, my neighbor sent me a picture of her phone right now, and it was 50 degrees up there in Sandpoint, and the snow is melting like crazy. It's an early spring, so that's the plan, guys. That's a great question. I am fine with it. I don't ever want to come back to California. I will do everything in my power to make sure she is warm and connected. If I have to sell the bigger place we have and put her in a smaller place just so I can keep the place, a roasty 70 degrees all year long for her, I'll do it. Whatever it takes to stay out of California. I guess that's my inside backup plan. Or we can move to like Arizona or all of you guys that are back in the South, Texas, Louisiana, back east. Sorry, I can't handle the humidity and the heat. The heat here is dry heat, but it's still miserable. So it's going to have to be a compromise, like Scottsdale, Arizona, or something like that. And there's a bunch of you guys. Well, yeah. So okay, Gil and Gil, you brings up a good point. You have southern Idaho as well. The temperatures down there, and that's kind of what they would consider the high desert or the deserty side of Idaho, is definitely warmer and less snow, less cold months. So that we'll see. We're gonna play it by ear, I guess. That's the the plan is to do everything I can to not come back to California. That's basically where we're at. So great question, guys. That's a great question. Rolling Homestead and Wild, thank you for popping in. Yeah, good to see you here. And you're in Wisconsin. That's WI. My parents live up near Milwaukee. It's actually specifically Cedarburg, Wisconsin, and that was one place we will never ever move to. Is Wisconsin. We went back there one time. We went to the airport, and it was 9 degrees below zero with the wind chill factor. My face was frozen. I said, I am never coming here, let alone my wife. She's like, oh, heck no. So you people that live back east are Uh, Kathy, I don't know how you do it where you guys live, how you guys deal with those sub-zero temperatures. That just blows my mind. So, um, exactly, Chad. I'm gonna worry about the back out if it ever comes. If I work hard enough, I am confident that I can keep her loving it up there, and she loves it up there already. She totally does. Just worried about being too cold. So you're exactly right, Chad. So humidity, what? Okay, humidity is hard. I can't do the humidity thing. It just sucks. The dry heat is okay. Scottsdale and Flagstaff are great, Alan. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I know those are a little better. Um, Flagstaff has got a giant volcano. Yeah, this is true. Um, yeah, Chad, I love that comment. You know what? What's cool about Gil on StreamYard is he can post comments and highlight comments. Your comment, Chad, is fantastic. God has a way of lining up everything just right that you've noticed. You know what, Chad? I've told everybody, I promised everybody I'm going to do a video on how we got our place, and I still haven't done it. I need to tell that story. We got our place, and it was bathed in prayer, my brother. It was bathed in prayer, and it's a crazy story. It took us a year to get our place. We lost it in escrow 3 times. So I know most of these people have heard that story too many times, and they're bored of it already. So I'll post a video and let you guys all know, and then Chad, you guys can watch it, and it's a fun video. It's a fun story. Let's see, manifestation. You guys are in. What did you say? You're in Wisconsin, right? Nope, that's Rolling Homestead and Wild Edibles. Um, Kathy, yeah. Yeah, you guys have beautiful summers for sure. That was one thing I did go to Wisconsin, or was it Illinois in the summertime one time? And gosh, I lived in Missouri one year as a kid in 5th grade, and man, that humidity and the heat was just miserable. And the ice storms in the wintertime, I can't do what Joey does in Missouri. But what did Alan say? Yeah, what Alan? Whatever it takes. If I got to jump on a bicycle and run a generator all day, I will. Patty, you use StreamYard today. Very cool. So I'm gonna have to try out StreamYard. I just don't want to pay for it. Um, manifestation. You don't, but you don't like it where the vodka freezes. Well, vodka can get pretty darn cold before it freezes. So uh, Heather has to start somewhere. Cool. What the video I was talking about how we got our place? Yeah, I gotta do it. You better pray hard because I need to be shot out of here like a can. I know heaven's essential. I know you're in what you. I forget where you're at. You're in Central California, I think you said, right? Oh yeah, Karen. That's right, Karen. You guys are up there in Canada. You guys are. I don't know how to do it. Oh, guys, that's another channel. Throw out there really quick for you guys to watch. It's a fun channel. And is Off Grid Simple Living Alaska, and they're talking 30 below zero. And Karen, you said 30 below zero. That just uh, it doesn't hurt as much as watching people gardening. You know what, Karen? What I saw, Simple Living Alaska, they did is they had a huge garden last summer, and they've been up there just barely a year. They just started their homestead last summer, and they grew a whole bunch of potatoes. They did a root cellar, and they had negative 30 degrees for a month straight up there in Alaska. They went down into the root cellar, and the coldest that it got in their root cellar was 28 degrees. Their potatoes didn't freeze, and either did all their canned goods. They canned everything. None of their jars froze. And it has something to do with just not having the wind chill on it as well as having the humidity right. So it blew my mind to see all those canned goods in their cellar at 28 degrees and nothing froze. Their potatoes lasted almost 6 months in that thing. They're still using them. So um, if you preserve all of it right, it's fantastic. So ready to go? Go to bed? You know, about time. 7:48. Holy smokes. Man, you guys are awesome. I love every single one of you guys. Love all of these channels. I'm way back on the chat now, guys. I was trying to go back and answer some questions here. Um, Oh my goodness. Yep. Thank you, Kathy, putting that up. Simple Living Alaska channel. They are fantastic. You guys, if you guys go check them out, tell them I sent you. Um, I've emailed them a few times and they're fun. Karen, did you tell me where? Not Karen. I know you're in Quebec. Um, Doggone it. Who's up in Central California? Um, Darn it. See, I don't. I need to write more notes. I get so carried away. Um, well, anyway. Oh man, you guys are great. Your manifestation. You got harsh desert land. Well, that's a whole different kind of off-gridding there, manifestation. Watching Jim and Jess out there at Green Dream Project has just been fantastic. Watching all you guys out there doing a water catchment for your water. If you don't spend the money on a well, watching you guys set up big containers to catch the rain when the monsoons come through, and you guys get enough water to last you all year long, blows my mind. Turning the desert into a green oasis is just amazing and fantastic, and that's about as cheap as you can get. So Chad, the Maynards there, if you guys are looking for desert, that's a good way to do it. But man, it's going to be brutal getting it off the ground unless you guys can get some water. I mean, water is the number one thing, right? And then trying to grow stuff out in the desert without in all that sand. I mean, you got to start doing some amendment and bring some hay in, and oh yeah, so you got it's a steep hill to climb. So. Um, Let's see. Let's see. What did I add? And the world happens when people are not going to be saying, "Let's head to the desert." Yeah, I know, right? Uh, okay, guys. Um, I missed a comment. Darn it. Ron, what were you saying? Once or twice a year? What did you do? What did you say? Yeah, Alan. Every time she's really excited to go up there this summertime. So. Um, you love the cold, especially its repulsiveness. That's right. So I've had a few people on Instagram making all kinds of comments talking about trying to get out of this, and how beautiful Idaho is. I keep telling them, yeah, but Idaho is full. Idaho sucks. All the people up there are a bunch of backwards cultist Bible grabbing, gun loving animal killers. That's what Idahoans are. You don't want to come to the state. But that actually probably it definitely attracted me to the state because I'm all those things. Uh, so, you guys, McCoy's Oak Hill Farm. If you guys aren't subscribed to Leanne, go check her out. She was so kind to send me a bunch of information on some Alice Chalmers stuff this morning. Just really fun stuff. Let's see here. Red, who's going to bed? Who's red? I missed a bunch. I'm sorry, guys. I missed a bunch of stuff. Oh, I can hear my daughter. My nurse D is on the FaceTime with. Oh, Gil, you got 2 inches of snow last night. That's cool. Um, let's see here. Ron, thanks for that. I appreciate it. Ron said, "Oh, we'll make it. Have the right attitude." Well, the attitude is I'm only 51. I'll be 52 in a couple of months, and I have 10 years before I can retire, so I have enough energy to do it. If I didn't want to wait till I was retired to move up there. I didn't want it to be my retirement property. Um, I wanted to have enough energy to actually hike around. Ron, at some point, I'm going to look like you. If you guys, none of you guys watch Ron, you can see how fit he is. I really hate you for that, Ron, but it's extremely inspiring. So, no, you're very inspirational with that, and I need to get into better shape. I'm actually been getting on the bike and trying to get into better shape because sitting in a crane for 10, 12 hours a day, you do not get any exercise doing that, guys. So I have to get into. That's the other thing is living the off-grid lifestyle. You got to be in shape to do it. I don't know. I have not. I don't think I've seen too many out of shape people doing the off-grid homesteading lifestyle. I'll just say that. So I know with the projects that I have coming up that I'm gonna have to get into shape to do them, but I'm gonna kill myself. So anyway, Joey's still in here. So we are all anxiously awaiting. Well, Joey already put out his first video. If you guys want to go see some fun stuff with botany, um, you know, I'm going to throw this out there, guys, really quick. There's still 23 of you guys in here. All of you dedicated YouTube content creators. I'm going to throw this out there. I know there's kind of in this community. I'm gonna go down the serious path for a second. If you guys will bear with me, I love to debate. You guys all, a lot of you guys know that already. I love to debate. I love to talk about stuff and dive deep. Um, I would be curious to see how many off-grid or, well, not necessarily off-gridders. How many of them are Christians? How many of you guys are actual believers in Christianity? How many of you are followers of Jesus? Because that I'm finding that seems to really determine the outlook of a lot of homesteaders. I'm just curious about that. And then you have the other side that don't believe in, they don't have, they may have conservative values. I find that most people with the conservative values, that tends to come from Christianity or some sort of a religious background like, well, LDS, Mormons or whatever, a lot of religious stuff. I see, so there tends to be a religious motivation for a lot of the conservatism on these channels with a lot of people. And then we have for lack of a, okay, guys, don't take this personal if this is you, okay? I don't know enough of your guys' personal story to know this, but there's definitely, when I grew up, there was the hippie movement. And the whole tiny house thing, to me seems a little bit. Yeah, go for it, Joey. You can say if you want to say if you are a believer or not, then great.
Bájalo, por favor, un poquito. Está.
If you guys don't you don't have to answer. If you want to put it out there for everybody to see, that's fantastic. I appreciate that. I'm just making some observations to you guys, something for you guys to think about. The whole tiny house movement, it seems like has been is kind of an offshoot or a progression or an evolution of the old hippie movement in some way. A minimalist. The off-gridders used to be seen as, the wild-eyed, crazy people that were, going off and doing crazy things, living in hobbit holes. Okay, so and a lot of them were kind of the Mother Earth crowd. Let's say that I'm going to say homesteaders and off-gridders. I know you guys are already answering, and I'm missing it, and it's, bear with me. I see two populations here in this crowd. I see the conservative religious people, and I see the Mother Earth people. And there's a few, that overlap, a few mixed in, do you guys see that? There we go. Let's leave it there. Okay. Amen, Joey. I love that. There's a bunch of, so I know who you follow, Joey. I know some of the channels you follow because I follow some of the same guys. There's that one big prepper guy who's all over the place. He's a big channel, and he's a Torah believer too. Oh, Karen, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, let me go back, guys. Let me go back. Hold on here. Let me go back and review. Let's see here. Burning Heart says tough to be fat in a scrappy guy's game. Tyler, I love your comments, dude. You got the funniest little comments, but they're true. That I love your way you say it. Prepsteader answering right now. Heaven Central is totally. I am me. Yeah, I know. See, I know a lot of you guys. You're picking up rabbits. Cool. Me. Many homesteaders are many agnostics. Is no better than to admit they're not Christian in a predominantly Christian community. Tyler, man, you went deep with that. Right on, dude. You know what, Tyler? We're gonna have some good conversations. I love that kind of deep thinking. That's a fantastic comment, Tyler. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Tyler, let's talk about prepping. You need to go subscribe to Tyler. He's got some good, deep stuff for a young punk. I'm just kidding. He's not that young. And he's not a pit. That would be my Lord comes before everything else. Good grief. No man-made religions, but the majority of Christians. Yeah, yeah, we're Christians. It's all over. Yeah, I know yours is Patty. Some of you I didn't need to answer. I know you already. I know you, Patty. I know Anna, Kathy. Let's talk for times. I'm old. You're an odd one in the faith. Manifestation of ministry. Thank you for. Okay, hey, thanks for being transparent. And I'm not judging anybody here by any means, any stretch of the imagination. Okay, manifestation. You had a great comment. You said different types. You're an odd one in the faith, but your group focus isn't religious based at all. Oh, okay, but that doesn't mean that you're not a Christian or whatever. You don't have faith. It just means that you don't focus your channel on religion or anything. And I think a lot of us don't either because we're trying to really be approachable to a wider crowd than just the Christian community, than the evangelicals per se. So, okay. Amen, Chad. Well, that's good. Well, the ladies typically do keep us in check. Fantastic. That's a good woman. You need to hang on to her. Steve, don't tell anybody what I said. Simply Jan, I know you guys are. Steve, that's for a white boy. You understood what I said. That's pretty good. Tiny house, millennium, definitely a hippie, greeny favorite approach. Okay, cool. Alan, and how come you're not in church right now? I know why you're not in church. You gonna tell everybody why you're not in church right now, Alan? Because we talked about that. I talked about it with Gil on his live stream this last week. You're in a small home. Not as good as we are considered the modern hippies, North Star. I don't know about that, Karen. I can't, maybe. We'll have to explore that later on. What does it mean to be a hippie? Just like what does it mean to be off-grid or homesteader? Let's see. A little more house on the prairie versus communes. Yeah. That's a great comment. Dave, I love it. You always kind of lurk around, but you always pop in with a really deep comment. I love that. I mean, it's as silly as that sounds. That's a pretty deep comment. We all grew up on Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, you better believe it. We're not communes. That's an interesting story. I remember watching a YouTube channel about this guy up in, oh man, where was it? Washington or Oregon? And it was part of a commune thing. It was this whole movement. I'm going to have to go back and research that. I've done a ton of research on this. Before we decided to take the jump, guys, I did a ton of research on it and looking into it and what was it going to take to do what we're going to do. And believe it or not, watching a lot of you guys, I'm like, you know what? I can do that. I grew up doing a lot of it, and I didn't realize it. We were doing prepping right here in our home in California without even realizing what we were doing. A lot of the stuff, the skills necessary, canning, preserving food, gardening, trimming, all that stuff. I mean, it's just anyway. Little squirrel there. Thanks for that, Dave. Thanks for the comment. That was great. I don't see that it has hippiness either. Self-reliant and their own destiny and path in life. That's right. Tyler, you're 31. You don't look 31. I figured you were late 20s. White boy. That's right. Steve is a white boy. He's a chimera. So there, guys, there's the answer to, I asked Alan why he wasn't in church. You guys, I asked Alan Banks why he wasn't in church tonight. Go read his comment, guys. You'll understand why Alan's not in church. Let's see here. Okay, I'm trying to catch up, guys, on the comments here. So, Andy Griffith, yeah, all that stuff. Kathy, thank you. Thank you, Kathy. The mod queen has to go. She's up late because she's 3 hours later than us. She's at 11 o'clock and it's late for her. And I'm going to be going here. And Anna, thank you also for staying up. Yeah. You guys back east, thank you so much for staying with me tonight. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I was doing them at 7 p.m. Pacific time and I've moved it to 6 p.m. just for you East Coasters. It's easier on all of us. And I got to get up early as well too. So thank you for staying as long as you did. You guys are awesome. Kathy is the bomb. Yeah, I can't speak Spanish on my channel anymore because you guys are going to call me out on it if I say anything I wasn't supposed to say. Thank you, Simply Jam, for coming in. And Leanna, oh gosh, you guys are awesome. So yeah, pretty interesting that you guys all confirmed what I've been thinking and kind of getting a feel for that. uh, a lot of people are Woodstock is wood versus music. Great comment, Dave. I love it. Yeah, our Woodstock is timber frame houses and log homes. That's our Woodstock. That's right. Anyway, thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Karen. Um, oh goodness gracious, you guys are awesome, guys. You guys have been a fantastic chat tonight. I can't believe it. It blows my mind. I'm gonna have a hard time sleeping again. I literally after Friday night's tractor talk with Gil and Hank from Hamiltonville Farm was in there. Chris from Holly Ridge was trying to get in there. He had bad connection, but I I literally live streamed with Gil all night Friday night. I was so pumped up talking about tractors and so talking about off gridding and homesteading and getting to our place up there. And just the angst that I'm feeling to get out of this, to get out of California and to be where a lot of you guys are is just, it'll keep me dreaming about it all night. So I might have to go have a little drink of something, some NyQuil to put me to sleep tonight. I hate to admit that. Anyway, so guys, thank you so much for popping tonight. There's so many of you guys already sitting in the chat tonight. You guys are a fantastic group. I love this community. We'll keep it going. We'll be talking about a cooperative video, talking about our experiences. Guys, go check out Joey at Burning Hearth Homestead and just bomb his channel with comments more, and get him to put some more videos out because you guys are gonna be, you guys, you'll understand why I'm telling you this later down the road. If some of you guys can't figure it out from his first video. But definitely, you guys keep showing the love, keep supporting each other, and keep helping each other. Go help Gil. Guys, if you guys have got to show Gil some love there at Camp Pan. I know you guys already know him, but okay. Oh, really, Anna? Oh, can you speak Spanish? Ah, okay. All right. Well, you can email me, Anna, or you can Marco Polo me, Anna, and tell me what I said to Olivia. How's that? I want to call you out. I challenge you. Send me Marco Polo. Tell me what I said to Olivia. There you go. But yeah, guys, Gil has been working really hard, and he is obviously a permanent member of our live stream community here in our homesteading and prepping, of somebody that cares so much about what people are doing and how to help them. And you guys, anybody that wants to ask information or wants to learn something, Gil is nothing but a teacher. I think one of his spiritual gifts is the gift of teaching and the gift of knowledge. He has a wealth of information, and he's one of the nicest guys I've met so far. So if you guys can share, Karen, shh, whiskey, and Steve also from Corsair Trainers. Those guys are the preppers. Tyler also. Oh my gosh, you guys are fun. Chad, I, yes and no. I have been going live every Sunday night, but as you can see, what happens here in this chat with all of you guys in here, and how much I love talking and interacting with you guys. I think I learn more from you guys than you, and I just love sharing that back with you guys. And some of you guys, some of the new channels that are coming in here, I'm having a great time, like Joey from Burning Hearth Homestead, Chris from Holly Ridge Homestead, and you guys. I have chills right now thinking about the potential of you guys and your family and your story and sharing your guys' lives with everybody and just getting to know you guys and help. I love to help people. I love people that want to learn and don't have a chip on their shoulder, don't have an attitude. And guys, I will never ever be like one of those big channels that just ignores all of everybody. One of the guys I really like, honestly, is Josh from Stony Ridge Farmer, as well as Daniel Arms Family Homestead, and the other guy. My mind totally went blank. Anyway, those guys have all commented on my channel when I was like at 500 subscribers, and they made the time and came and visited my channel. and gave me a really awesome shout out. I had Heath and Cedar from Red Poppy Ranch reach out to me and have emailed me back and forth. And Heath and Cedar, they're a huge channel. They're 200,000 subscribers already, right? I don't have a lot of respect and admiration for channels that are not genuine and don't give something back. Because when you get to that, let's face it, let's be honest, when you get to that size of channel, you're making some pretty good money. That's just the fact. I know, and I hate to say this, but there's one channel that's 350,000 subscribers. They gross $15,000, $20,000 a month, and they do zero interaction with their fans and their subscribers. And I just think that's wrong. I don't care if I make a ton of money on this ever. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to share the knowledge that you guys have taught me and whatnot. So that's why I'm here. I will never be like one of those channels. I'm not. It's just not me. So anyway, that question, I don't know where that question totally went, but that totally got me way. 2 semesters, Anna. You can get Anna, you can get to the bathroom. You know how to order a taco, and you know how not to order sesos, right? You know when you go to the taco stand, don't give me sesos. Anybody know what sesos are? I know most of you guys already know what sesos is, but anyway, guys, you guys are fantastic. Yeah, the community, absolutely. Money means nothing. God has blessed us with everything we need. The community is what's fantastic. We've just learned so much. So, guys, every Sunday, I'm gonna try and do a live stream. If I don't do one for this community and for this interaction, for you guys to meet each other and for us to share information and talk and build each other up. And this is all, and that is, and the bottom line for me is that this is all done in God's name. I give the glory to God for everything that's happened in our life. He owns the breath in my lungs. And I'm going to leave it at that, guys. So you guys have a great week. I'll be in your live streams. I'll be in Kathy's tomorrow night, Two Family Homestead, Gills. The rest of you, I'll be watching your videos and popping in every chance I get to your videos and get around to them. So you guys have a great week. God bless every one of you guys. Thank you for making tonight's live epic again. The last 3 weeks have just been insane, guys. Insane. So thank you to people like Anna and Terry, Mimsy's Garden, Poor Boy Homestead. You guys are just amazing. So I can't imagine what heaven's going to be like. You guys have a good night. I'm going to cut it off. I could go for another hour. See ya.